I'll tell you about the time when I was on the ice and all the bullshit that I went through on it. The paranoia, the schizophrenia, the psychosis, the medication, all of it. And I hope it's a deterrent for some of you younger ones who were going down that path, yeah? All you older heads who have been on it, you know exactly what I'm talking about, and I'm sure you can relate to it. I remember back when I was a young fella, right? And this is what fucking gets me, is I remember seeing these space cadets walking around the streets of Sydney, full gone. And I'd look at them like, you weak cunt. How can you let something in a little satchel bag do that to you? Like, you weak cunt. It done it to me, mate. And then I look back and I think, you idiot. What a narrow-minded fool I was. And it started off real innocent with me as well. A puff here and a puff there. I'd go a few months without touching it again. Like, it was no issue. But then eventually it got worse and I started knocking around bikies and other people who would get on it a lot. And, mate, it was just craziness. Proper craziness. In the end, the coppers come banging on my door, raided me and shit because I was hanging around the bikie boys and that, and they were under investigation. Well, I was there hanging around them probably 2 months before the investigation had finished, so I wasn't really a part of what they were doing, you know what I mean? I was a Johnny-come-lately, but it triggered me bad, mate, because, yeah, there was a bit of shit going on and whatnot, but who cares? Anyway, so I thought that I was constantly under investigation now. They were constantly watching me. They were doing little things and little traps to set me up just to hear me talk and say shit and they could find out whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? It was bad. Anyway, I started doing it the other way. And that's when it really got bad for me, mate. Like, I'd stay up for 6-7 days straight. And yeah, man, my head was full cooked. And I was out the window constantly for hours. My ankles were like this. And I've only got skinny ass legs, man, but my ankles were massive, mate. From just standing for so long, they were full swollen. Out the window, thinking the coppers were just watching me and this and that all the time. Then it turned into me missus cheating on me and everyone was out to get me, and signals, colour codes, Morse codes, secret messages. I went through that many Samsung Galaxies, just smashing them on the ground because I was going through them that much and I didn't like what I was seeing. I changed the settings and fuck, it just destroyed me phones. I done it to laptops and shit as well. Like, it was bad. Anyway, this shit was going on for a while, number plates popping out at me, I'd add the numbers up and AJR, what the fuck, that's my initials, and old mate would hit the brake and I'm like, that's signals, and bro, I'd see writing on walls and all sorts of stuff, mate, like everything was like a game. That's what it felt like, and I was the joke in the middle. I couldn't even walk through the shopping centre without hearing someone go and cough, just clearing out their throat, and I'd look at the missus and go, was that a signal to you, what, you know this cunt? And I'd turn around to say something and the missus would just grab me and go, not in the shopping centre, stop. Like, bad, mate, bad. Road rages and shit. I remember coming out of the KFC car park, I had my daughter's friends in the back having a sleepover, full forgot they were in the car, just gone, and old mate had cut me off, and I said something to him, and before he could even say anything back, I was trying to rip my seatbelt off and get out of the car to have a crack with him. Well, the missus has held onto my arm and the seatbelt and just said, we've got kids in the car, what are you doing? And fuck, whoop. I come back and I realised, whoa, what am I doing? And old mate was saying, I'm a UFC fighter, mate, you don't want to go there. And I'm just, oh, fucking mate. I had something down beside me seat anyway. I would have caved his head in with it. That's what would have happened. I'll get around with this look in my eyes, man, where I just wanted to kill people. Like, it was bad. I just, straight through your soul, mate. Like, I wanted to rip it out and drop kick it down the street. I was angry all the time because I just felt like, what, you all want to turn on me? I'm the fucking clown. And I've always been a generous sort of person. I've always helped out anyone who needed it, mate. I've never been, well, a real bad sort of person, you know what I mean? I did crime and all that, but I rated myself as a nice human being, mate, who cared for others. And I thought, you just want to fucking do this to me? So I was angry all the time. And people that I knew, friends, family, whatever, would be there having a one-on-one conversation just about normal shit, and then my head would switch and I'd just look at their lips and go, you're fucking lying to me, cunt, I should smash you. And my brain would dead set tell me to whack them. And I'd have to purge the urge, mate, and dead set fight with myself while I'm talking to them, while keeping this conversation going. Do you know how fucked up that is? This happened for a long time, man. A long time. Anyway, it got that bad that I ended up going to the nut ward. And I'd go in there playing the game, thinking this was all a setup, it was all a joke just to get me there, to get me on this medication or whatever, and it was just out of control. I remember getting in there and I walked up to the wall, because I swear there was writing all over the wall. This is the psychosis. Walking up to the wall, got that close to it, and I was like, you cunts for real, what? You think I can't see this shit? Like, you cunts are a joke. And Fool would see stuff on the wall that just wasn't there. My missus was sitting there in tears, fucking crying, talking to these guys, like, what are we going to do to help him? And I just thought it was a joke. Like, yeah, look at you, have a go at you. Like, fucking, not bad. Like, you're good. Just proper, was not copping it, mate. Could not see the light of day. Could not see that what I was doing was wrong and I had the problem. Everyone else had the problem. It wasn't fucking me. And that was what was heartbreaking about it, mate, is that my missus has known me since high school. I've always rated myself up here as well. I got to a point where I was always dressed nice, fresh haircut, fresh shoes. I'd make my bed every morning, vacuum clean my floor. This is well before jail. Like, I always took a lot of pride in myself and what I believed in. I stood on my fucking own all the time, man. And I felt like I always had a lot more in me than all these muppets that were around me. You know what I mean? I was a different breed to some of these other lads, mate. And my missus knew that about me. She's known me since high school, and she seen me punch on with that many blokes and never lose a fight. And, well, not that she'd seen anyway. And she rated me up here, man. Like, I was the sickest cunt she'd ever met. And then to see me go down this path all these years later, talking to myself, paranoid, schizophrenic, that look in my eyes, it was bad, mate. And I really let myself go. In the end, I had to get on medication called Zyprexa. Now, this Zyprexa, man, it's a miracle drug in my opinion. It saved my life. Now, I'm not promoting it or suggesting anyone get on it. Do your thing, whatever, but I know it helped me. Fuck, mate, I wouldn't be here today doing these videos if it wasn't for that stuff. I was on it for about 6 years, but I was misusing it. I was still smoking and shit, so I can't class any of that. But when I started taking it serious, man, it done what it was meant to do. When I got out of rehab, fucking my head still wasn't right, mate. Like, I was full paranoid, and I hadn't touched ice for donkeys, months, like proper months. And I was still paranoid, thinking everyone was out to get me, investigations, all this sort of stuff was still in my brain well after I got off the ice. So it was who I was, this paranoid idiot. That's what I'd become. Anyway, I remember taking the medication for about a year, maybe a bit longer, and then I decided to jump off it. Well, I didn't tell the missus, I just jumped off it. Well, I come home from work one day, and out of nowhere, I said to the missus, who the fuck's been in our room? It's like, what do you mean? I said, this is not the way we left it, or whatever I said, something like that. And she's like, what do you mean? You left it fucking whatever time? How would you know, you idiot? And I'm like, yeah, fucking no. She's like, are you hearing what you're saying? I'm like, what? And she goes, have you been taking your meds? I said, no. And she goes, and I said, that's what it is right there. I said, this is to keep me on the meds. I said, I'm fucking all over this shit, mate. I knew this is what it was. She's like, listen to what you're saying, like proper. And I had to sit down and think, you know, when you're on the meds, mate, you never accused her of that. You never felt like that. The whole time you're on it, now you haven't had it for 3 weeks, listen to what you're saying. And it made a lot of sense to me, man. And I went back on it, had a cry and had a bit of a moment because I was upset, mate, that my brain could stay like this if I wasn't on these meds. Like, it was fucked. So anyway, I went back on it and I stayed on it for 2 years straight, maybe a little bit more. And now I haven't been on it for a good, I don't know, I'd say 9 or 10 months. She's all good, mate. Bags a week, I'm right. But fuck me, man, it was touch and go. I believe this is second chance, mate, from God, for me to give back, for me to make right for my wrongs, man. Like, knock on wood, bruh, that I'm sweet and I'm not going to go back to that paranoid bullshit because it was pretty deep. There's a lot more that I'm not going to talk about, but you get the idea. It's sad, mate, because it does it to the best of them. But anyway, I haven't been on that meds for, like I said, 8-9 months, whatever, and I'm sweet, man. I'm back to normal, and that's why I want to give back. But that medication does have its downfalls, man. It does have its side effects in that. I blew out, man, like 117 kilos. I'm only 5'10", so that, bro, I got photos in that where my head's just like that, just full fucking fat as. 117 kilos. I've ripped it all off now, but it's hard work, mate. Now that I've had that weight on me, I've only got to look at food to put weight on. Like, I don't eat much now. I'm trying to, you know, lean down a bit, but it put all that weight on me. It made me tired all the time, lethargic. I just had no motivation. Some days I'd just stay in bed all day, all weekend. Like, I'd go to work during the day, but I was that tired. It was just fucked. But I had to do this to get to the point I'm at now. I had to go through what I had to go through with the tiredness and the weight and all that to get to here, man. But yeah, no sex drive as well, like proper. Just didn't feel like having sex or anything. It was fucked. But my missus stuck by me through all of that. My kids, everything, you know what I mean? So now I want to give back. This is why I do these videos. I can't talk for anyone else online, and I can't tell you why they do it. But for me, it's not for anything other than me wanting to help the next person. I want to pass on my knowledge, and I want to say thanks to the big man upstairs, to me missus, to the doctors, to the medication, for everyone who's stuck by me. This is my way of saying thank you and not ever touch that shit again. That's how I say thanks. and I want to give it back to everyone. And I just want to explain what it does to you, where it leads you, and who I was before I got on it, what it done to me. And thank God I'm here today. I've got my life back on track, man, and I realised that that drug, it's putrid. It's the devil's drug, mate. It does it to the best of them. So, look, I hope this video has helped someone in some kind of way, but just understand, mate, there's a lot more to it. You know, I've only got 10 minutes. I could fucking be here all day. But you get the idea, mate. It turns people into no good cunts. You say and do some stupid shit, mate, and it's not a good look, bruh. You're better off just staying well away from it, because it'll do to you what it's done to everyone else. And trust me, bruh, it's not fucking good. You might have that one puff or that one shot too many, and you might never come back.